avoid it on my behalf just because I'm new. You know, I think it's a good time to end for my character. If it's a good.
I think from a narrative perspective, we've kind of exhausted the Sky Pirate airship narrative.
Plus, I also, if this was a long-running series, my character came in the last season, and everybody loves him. He's a very popular character, obviously.
Yeah.
But I only just came in the last season. You know, if there's like a big ending episode, I'm gonna have a small part in it, and that's okay. That's okay with. I don't want to be shoved down the audience's throats, so to speak. Not that there's an audience. Well, I guess it's streaming, so there could. But I just meant, you know, for you.
Right.
And for me, you know, I might be a little condescending too if I needed a long teary goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think we'll pick up where we left off and just like continue down the base, or jumping ahead to some? So I know our progress through the base has been slow.
Let's see. You guys ended last session with trying to camp out in the garden room to recover some health and cover spells and whatnot. Yeah. I think we can pick it off there and try to finish up rescuing the world from this Death Star base floating above it. Even though the big lich has been destroyed, there's still some forces that want to keep this thing going. And then I guess we'll see from that point onward what your characters go back to doing, I guess. I know, Daniel, you had wanted to repair the Iron Golem.
Yeah.
Among other things.
But
I mean, you may have a godly patron now to help you with that. who would be feel in particular indebted to this creature that doesn't.
True. Yeah. Yeah, I need to think for a minute.
I meant to tell you ahead of time because it seemed like you might want to work on. So sorry, I didn't. I was actually thinking of taking. I think I said before I was going to take Formcrafter. Instead, I might take Communion of Whispers, and that might be a useful tool for this as well. If it's going to be one of the last, I think it's one of the last. Communion of Whispers lets me meditate. Actually, it just says spend time in a place. I might start getting visions of it. Vision of significant, ally.
Right.
Yeah.
And I roll, and I get a vision no matter what. But usefulness or a positive change.
Yeah, we haven't actually had any kind of a divination sort of thing before, so yeah, this would be very useful, I think.
Oh. You were talking about us having a dream while we were sleeping. Should I just roll? Should that be like the first roll of the game?
Sure.
20 is open. I already made a. I think I made it down. Vector. Not vector. What's it called? Macro. I'm almost done setting for it.
Okay. No rush.
I'm still sick, like, against all odds.
Oh no.
It's okay.
Strep or something?
If I mute, yeah, something like that.
'Cause I
If
know-
I start,
Yeah.
if I mute myself because I've started.
Right. I know a couple of weeks ago, everybody was coming down with it,
Mm.
and everybody I knew was like, "Yeah."
Oh, that hurt. Wait, forgot about that. Success.
Okay, Cliff.
Traumatizing. Oh man.
Okay, Cliff. You don't get a traumatizing vision, but what you do get is you sink into a dream, and in that dream, the spirits of this once whole world come to you, and they give you they give you a vision of where you guys are now on this base, and they give you the image of rats swarming towards you guys, encroaching on your little corner of sunlight here, and the rats enroach and enroach and enroach, and eventually consume you all. And then you wake up in a cold sweat.
Yeah, I'll sit up very quickly and I'll say, we need to move.
Got it. I say.
Something's coming. I've never, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I think something's coming.
Mm-hmm. After what we've
right.
just been through, I would not doubt it.
So just to take a second aside, I can heal, right? I can, it's half my health and then plus the 1d6.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So plus 11.
Wow.
Exactly full health. No overheal.
Oh.
Adrian's full.
Yes, I'm.
Mm-hmm.
And Phoenix is pointing up.
Yeah.
Phoenix
Yeah.
has kind of got this glow about him, I imagine.
Is he with us?
That's a good question. Phoenix is going to wake up feeling perky, feeling alive. But then he's going to actually be glowing like a fiery orange color as he starts to wake up and move around. And he's gonna kind of glance down at himself and say, "Oh no, oh dear, what?" And literal flames will start to come from his body as he stands there.
Shit. That's it.
I look over. Ooh. As a quick question, what is our? I mean, obviously we want to make it off of the ship, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, it has no leader at this point, so can we assume that it might be like crashing or something like that?
You can make a spout lore about that.
I would like to. Oh, good grief! Why can I never find the thing? Oh, there we go.
Okay. All right. You, based on your knowledge of such enterprises, you would assume you know that there are other people besides just Vecca who are trying to maintain this place and keep it from crashing and so forth. So you would assume that there's kind of a redundancy in command, so that even if just Vecca falls, the whole place is not just going to crash into ruin, shall we
So
say.
someone else is going to try to blast the world below. Is the assumption.
Or at least, try to
Place isn't
maintain.
gonna crumble.
Yeah. Okay.
And Phoenix is just continuing to float and glow, or is he dead?
Phoenix is looking over at you guys kind of sadly, and through the flames and the glowing, he's going to say that he might have to leave you guys in order to not blow everything up here.
But appreciate you. I'll nod and step aside and let the old friends talk.
Aww.
I won't shake his hand because I don't want to explode. But that's the nod I'm giving him. It's like a handshake.
All right. Now, since he always did consider me the she-devil,
Right.
and he kind of did go, what do you call it? He went postal last time and kind of was like, okay, bring down the banhammer on Vecca, and let's just wrap this whole Death Star thing up. I'm going to make sure that happens, or rather it is my intention to make sure that happens. And I will give him a knowing smile, and then I will open my demonic eye.
Ooh.
To create a place of ritual, a ritual place of power.
No way! We're finally doing this. Awesome.
Yeah, I want to make it happen.
Okay.
Okay. So, and my intention is to summon a black hole.
What the fuck?
Summon a black hole and suck the whole place into it, while at the same time we jump off onto our ship and fly down to the ground.
Right.
That's my intention. It may require
Very good.
it may require something like this shadow walk that I have, which I don't have prepared, but that's kind of my intention for the ritual, is to cast Shadow Walk.
At like its maximum level, and then you lose it forever.
No. I gain some demonic power by using a ritual. I basically ritualize the whole thing.
Okay.
Maybe. Oh, man. Would it be a little bit too insane to, like, create the black hole in my forehead?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I
So
look back at the mist and consider running into it, but I don't.
Background.
I mean, if you want, I could also, like... Well... Yeah. I would say, yeah, this is...
Yeah, just thinking out loud here. Okay.
Oh, hey, I have an idea. I have an idea.
What's your idea?
My idea is to shadow walk. The shadows you target with this spell become a portal for you and your allies. That's... Can I make Rusty an ally, assuming that he is also a part of the ship? And then have the ship and Rusty walk through the portal. The portal being leaving to whatever alternate universe of the other side of a black hole or whatever.
Let me just run ritual here so we can see the options.
Okay.
Probably have help.
Okay.
This big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Phoenix. Phoenix will make a suggestion. Why don't Adrian? Why don't you, if you can, why don't you teleport me down a level and you guys out to the airship?
He says this?
Yes.
I can try that. The
You
problem
okay now?
the problem I have is I think a portal that I create with the Shadow Walk only goes to one place, so I would have to cast it twice. And then there is a chance that I wouldn't be able to cast it again.
Right. Since you're doing a ritual, we're not technically doing a spell, so you can have the ritual do more than one thing as long as John plays power to achieve a magical effect. Tell the GM what you're trying to achieve. So
I'm trying to banish the ship and get us off safely as soon as, with Phoenix like seeing that, yeah, I can totally do this, and that he was right all along. I am the devil or something.
Standing very still, it's too much to absorb, so I'm just letting it coast over my head for now.
okay, Adrian. All right.
I pull out a pipe and start working. It doesn't have anything in it. I don't know. I grab some leaves off of the garden. I probably got some.
Okay, Adrian, with your demonic eye activated and the demonic runes flickering around you in a ritual circle, why don't you cast Summon Monster, even if you don't have it prepared?
Okay.
Summon.
2. Yay.
Okay. Yay! Okay. With that summoning, 1 second. Okay. All right. Adrian, deep in the bowels of this this ship here, you will feel that you have successfully summoned a black hole.
We all start talking slower, and my foot disappears down the hall or something. The smoke from Cliff's pipe begins trailing down out of the garden.
Yeah.
Goes back.
Yep. All the wind starts to go that way. All the air and oxygen and start to feel a pull down that way. Yeah. In sacrifice for that, let's see.
Oh, I did a summon monster as the monster being the black hole?
Yeah.
Got it.
Not to, I don't know, possibility. And pretty powerful. But it's in use, I guess.
Okay. As kind of the downside to that, Adrian, is that you can feel that you don't have necessarily control over this black hole.
Oh, great.
You can't tell when it's going to dissipate or have any sort of control over this at all. So it's just there and sucking in stuff as fast as it can.
Well, great. It was my hope I could maybe close it once my plan was complete.
Maybe you can.
Hopefully. Okay, so for the second part, you want to try and get people off the ship, get everybody else off this station.
Yes.
All right.
Including the remains of Rusty. Yeah.
Including the remains of Rusty. Okay.
He's like equipment.
Yeah, he's basically in my little Wookiee backpack thing, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Assuming I have one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a big mesh bag.
Yeah, you do.
Maybe I'll toss that over to Cliff. He looks like he can carry something.
Yeah, I catch it.
Wait, you had two of the 3 weight on him anyway, so.
Right. Yeah, but I'll take it. I just can't make any moves without dropping.
All right, Adrian. to get you guys off the ship and into your airship, you're going to have to you're actually going to sense that it's going to be a particularly dangerous trip through the ethers and onto the airship. It's very unstable, especially with the black hole and all of this enchanted structures around you.
Where is the ship?
Still want the airship?
Yeah.
The airship is a couple hundred feet from the surface of this Death Star, kind of hovering around out there, waiting for you guys to come back or the thing to explode or.
Okay. Because you said ethers, and I'm like, wait, we're on the prime material plane here. We shouldn't have to do any ethereal travel.
Gonna poke a hole in the paper and go through it. I guess we're going ethereal.
I suppose you could do that way, yeah. I mean, that would be the actual shadow
So
step.
we have like an ethereal obstacle course for us.
Yep, I do.
So here's a question, and this is a long shot. Basically, this is me asking to cheat. So totally acceptable to say no. Being possibly the last episode, would it be reasonable to say that while we were resting and while I was humming a song, I was also finishing up that snake tattoo?
Seems reasonable to me, yeah.
Ooh, I think I see where this is going, and I'm really excited.
I'm also looking to see what we decided about that snake move, because I wasn't expecting.
I think, given the particular effect you want to do, that it should be a move and not a particular hold.
Okay. Should I still roll for form or shapeshifter?
Yep.
Okay. Token. So something happens. I do get one hold.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right on the edge. I don't know how I could aid, but I could aid if I had a chance to.
Yeah. Our demigodly patron could aid, but he's not really here.
Okay,
Do I just get hit with the rock and fall behind?
Yeah. You do successfully transform into a big shadowy snake, Cliff. You do gain one hold, but
I toss back the rest of the gear to Atria because I can't make a move unless he drops something. Sorry.
That's fine. I need to come up with actual. I need to come up with two more. I need to come up with 2 weight really fast. Otherwise, I'm leaving Rusty halfway behind.
Oh,
a bag of books that I've never used.
Oh, yeah.
Of 2 weight.
Into the void.
Yeah.
No one will ever read them.
Right, my books get sucked down the hall and presumably into the forming black hole.
Phoenix, as well, will start to be dragged down that way.
What? No, he's a god. How can he be dragged?
It sounds like a fun adventure.
Well, I wouldn't say he's being dragged in. I'd say he's like, ooh, that looks interesting. He starts walking down the hall.
Yeah, okay. Hey, thanks, Adrian. I'm gonna check out what's down this way. See you guys. Before he leaves, he will flick a hand towards you guys, and you guys will feel one last blessing from Phoenix that you can spend to gain +1 on a particular roll here.
You're not going to improv a quick limerick?
I'm not good at improv. I'm really not.
It's okay, I'm not either.
Farewell, my friends. I'm off to play. Oh God! Wait, he doesn't sing. That's
No, right.
So, okay, yeah.
Perhaps
I can't
we'll
do
meet
limericks.
another day. No.
Yeah.
I knew 2 fools, one short, one tall. I knew one well, one not at all.
That works.
But and when the time came, God, we'll work on this. We'll workshop it.
Oh man.
Makes it look easy.
Well, to be fair, who keeps besides Phoenix, who keeps a thesaurus by their laptop?
Right.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I'm a snake.
You're a snake.
You're ahead with the rest of all that stuff.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So I guess I'll make that move. I guess I'll attempt to distort reality. Distort space. Now, what would be an interesting way for this snake to distort space here? Because usually it involves actual like space and geography. This is a
Right.
world
Right.
without.
I think from Adrian's perspective, she kind of makes the bridge to the airship. But then maybe Cliff, you can kind of go along and sort of stabilize the corridor, sort of.
Okay.
That makes sense?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
I just like, I don't know if you've seen a hagfish when they like spiral in on themselves when they don't want to be held.
Ooh, maybe.
Create that Presley thing.
I've seen that, yeah.
I'm swarming around like that, and I'm just like floating forward. I'm creating this weird writhing figure 8 motion with my snake body.
Cool.
I'm not like slithering through the air, wriggling in the air.
Okay, so the portal is cast. You guys get sucked into the between step of the shadow walk, and you guys are moving through the ether, the space between worlds here. Let me see if I have an appropriate background. Okay, no, I don't have anything
Yeah.
too appropriate at the moment. But
Do you have that one? The one with the big like Tempest Maelstrom.
I have this one.
It's the other one, but
I mean,
yeah, I'm imagining something and it's gonna take too long to make happen.
Okay.
But I will cut it in on the stream.
Where are you?
Oh, on the stream. I pulled up the image I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the ether is kind of blue, swirling clouds and gases that you guys have to navigate here.
Mm-hmm.
So Cliff's writhing snake manipulations are going to stabilize this corridor quite a bit. The only thing that can manage to puncture this.
Oh, I didn't roll, by the way, for distorted space.
What's that?
I didn't roll, by the way, for distorted space.
Oh, that's true. Roll plus your wisdom.
Yeah, so that my wisdom do. I think maybe it's 3 now. No, it's plus 2. So
There's 6.
6. Oh God.
Oh no. Okay, Cliff. In your
plus 1 from Phoenix.
Yay! Okay.
7.
It just barely succeeds. Alright, Cliff.
And so I'm still like behind at this point.
Yes.
And I can see Adrian up ahead, kind of shrinking into the light or whatever.
Yep. She's walking through the blue, shifting chaos of the ether here. You do manage to stabilize it, Cliff. Okay. So the only thing that can puncture your combined efforts is a blue fog shrouded tentacle that will come through and grab Adrian, wrap around her.
Got it. Kind of takes me by surprise. But I look back and I hopefully spot Cliff and realize what in the world's going on.
Yeah, so, Adrian, Cliff, what do you do?
I just had the coolest mental image of what the black hole actually is, since you made it a summon monster.
Yeah?
It's an etheric ray. Like a massive etheric ray that could be trying to swallow the Death Star. Except it's like the boss ray, and instead of a stomach. He's just has a black hole for a stomach.
Oh, that's cool.
I'd like to try
I like that.
Yeah, that is really good. I'd like to try to distort space again,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to turn the field of view up in Minecraft, like way up,
Got it.
and just stretch us forward, if I can, and that's kind of what it would feel like. It's when you turn the field of view up on Minecraft, you just feel like you're going faster,
Mm-hmm.
and things are moving past you faster.
Because you're seeing more of it.
Yeah,
Got it.
or like in a movie where you move the camera back, you zoom in.
Yep.
Or vice versa.
That's a Hitchcock zoom.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I would like to attempt to do that. I don't think that will do anything immediately about the tentacle, but it'll hopefully get us moving faster. Make
I
the
like it. Oh,
distance
that's
shorter.
cool.
Yep. Give it a try, Cliff.
Right. So you could say +2.
Actually, Cliff, up above, do you see? Oh, okay, you got it. You got it. Never mind. Okay.
Crit it, and we.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Have you guys?
You were going to tell me to do Defy Danger.
Have you guys seen the scene where in The Last Jedi, like they have that monster on the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and then they take off and shred the thing around the cockpit?
I don't remember it.
Okay. Well, it's kind of like that. Cliff gets you guys to speed up through this shadowed dimension, through the ether, and the tentacle just kind of shreds around you, Adrian, as you and Cliff gush forward.
Mm-hmm.
And
I really like The Last Jedi. I can't remember what this is.
was it?
Figure it
I'm
out.
sorry, it might not have been The Last Jedi. It was the first movie, or first movie to come out.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
The Force
we'll figure it out later.
The Force Awakens, that was the name of it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the big ball antenna.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really...
Looks like a beholder with tentacles instead of eyes.
Yeah. Okay, wow.
Okay.
I think this is my best roll. I don't think I've rolled up.
I think it's your best roll ever, Cliff. Yeah. Okay. You guys shoot forward, and since Cliff is
I just become very long. I'm not writhing anymore. I become very, very long. I'm like at the beginning and the end of it.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah. All right. Your combined effort is enough to get you pop out of this etheric gateway and onto the deck of the airship.
And I guess you see for the first and only time me transform. Because it's always been obscured in some way. You see, kind of like in Spirited Away when the scales fall off of his eyes.
Mm.
You guys both seen that?
I have seen it. I don't recall the exact.
They're flying up in the air, and spoiler, ding, ding, ding. The dragon remembers his name. And then I don't know. I'll send a GIF, but basically it's just the dragon thing. The snake form peels away.
Okay. I have to remember this because
I'll send a GIF.
That was a pretty scene.
Yeah, it's a pretty movie.
The only part of this movie I remember is where the weird Two-Face, No-Face guy opens his mouth and eats everybody, or tries to.
I would definitely recommend seeing the Ghibli Fest when it's around.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
they're doing Spirited Away next, and not Spirited Away. They did that one. They're doing Princess Mononoke, and I expect that'll be a really cool scene.
Wow.
Cool.
It's usually easy to find one.
Yeah.
I'll send a link.
I've meant to go see that at the theater, but yeah. Just haven't yet.
Yeah.
So, from the viewport of the airship, you guys can see that the Death Star itself is like crumpling in on itself, and
Are we far enough away that we are not in danger on our ship from the gigantic, massive ray that's eating the thing? Or do we need to yell at Boffin to kick it into gear and get us out of here?
Get us out of here. I'm going down there.
I would say size-wise that, yeah, you guys are being drawn in as well. So, yeah, I would say it's safe to get the airship in motion and sail away from there.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about that thing? I sent a GIF.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. Got it.
I guess it's like black wisps of smoke or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That is cool. Yeah. Boffin will shout back to you, kind of assuming you guys sort of land in the command room. Just, Boffin starts to steer the airship away. He looks over his shoulder. Where's Phoenix?
Everywhere.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
He's fine. Don't worry about it.
What's the other movie where the line is, "Get us the blazes out of here"?
I don't know.
All right. Boffin steers the airship away, and
Is it the motion capture Polar Express?
Yeah, that's it.
I Googled
Where
"Get
he-
us the blazes out of here." And
Yeah.
I see these
Where
big
he's
round
crumpling into the ice lake. Yeah. This is the ice lake scene.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. And so there's a gigantic Cthulhu monster above Earth, right?
A manta ray.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking that the manta ray might have been in the
black hole.
in the ether side of things,
Mhm.
but it's affecting the real world because it's so massive.
Yeah.
So maybe we can see like half of it emerging or fading in or
This
something.
is like an incomprehensible. Like we're seeing cross sections of its body. Weird. It's like the apple traveling through flatland. If you've seen that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As you guys try and look back, your mind is assailed with horrible, incomprehensible images as the black hole crunches down and down and down onto this airship here. Not the airship, the Death Star.
Mhm.
Everybody make a wisdom defy danger.
Okay.
Alright.
we're doing too many cool things. We have to break it
Yeah.
with a break in with a. Oh, I got
Holy
a.
shit! How many times am I gonna have to level up in this? I'm not gonna level up because I need 11 experience and I only have 2. But
Alright, Cliff. In glancing back, your mind cannot comprehend that horrible, flickering madness of whatever thing that Adrian summoned. And your wisdom will...
confused.
You will be confused, yes.
Oof. Oof. Doofa doofa.
It's not as bad as I thought it would be. That's.
It's not great for me, but yeah. Ooh.
Alright, but you guys managed to pull away from the pull of the whatever Adrian summoned there, and managed to, I guess, managed to...
I'd say we start landing. Point
Yeah,
at the
manage
planet
to,
and start landing procedures.
Yeah. Yeah, Boffin will flip the airship over to the ether side and sail down to where the surface of the planet would be, and then flicker back to real space, and you guys will be gently landing. Where do you guys want to go, actually? Because I'm not sure where Cliff was actually stationed.
Right. Well, I mean, first of all, I'm staring out that window long after the the black hole stuff is out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, do pull away from it. They got somebody halfway pipe. But when I'm a little bit better, is this like epilogue stuff? Are we like on our way?
I don't really see how
Yeah.
you guys are going to come under any particular threats at the moment. So, yeah, I guess this kind of is sort of epilogue. Kind of.
I would recommend Delgar then, since that's been our sort of home base or the ship's home base anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll stick around at least check out what that place is. But yeah, eventually I will head back to my little halfling town.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long I'll stay there after I go back.
Well, I mean, we have to let you go through the mental institution and everything.
Right.
You know, they'll prescribe the medieval cures for.
Oh God.
If I'm leaving, I'm gonna go see that old guy. Is this the guy that showed me around the ship? I don't need to say goodbye to him, but I'm just gonna. He's who I get my hype leaf off of, and I'm just like, thank. And before I leave for good, I will give Adrian a firm handshake. Holy shit! What did I just?
I don't know.
Am I supposed to see that? I feel like I'm not supposed to see that.
Whatever that was extremely cool, and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna go there. Okay.
Yeah, but I'll give Adrian a firm handshake and say, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot to take in. I'll see you around.
And I
Oh,
nod.
hopefully we'll see each other sometime in the future. Yes.
Yeah,
Just remember,
maybe on slightly more solid.
if you're ever on a deserted island with a single young child proclaiming the praises of Phoenix, be sure to give him a nod and say, "Yeah, we're all
Right.
believers."
I don't understand that at all, but I will. I don't know what happened with him. All right.
Basically, that's where the entire god complex actually came from.
Oh,
We land, we kill the entire village with our ship, and then one lone child, and Phoenix is like, "Oh, that was me, and I'm a god, I think."
damn. I'm gonna look up concerningly.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess I'll go on my way. They know where my village. Not to come in, space guns blazing and upset everyone.
Show up and be
And,
like, "Snake form, check out what I can do."
And yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what happens next for Cliff, but that's his business.
Okay. All right. Adrian, I think as a result of you using your demon eye, you would have grown like dark tattoos covering your face and your hands.
Ooh, cool. I like it. All right. Just tattoos, no other like actual useful traits.
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh.
It is the only time I've ever used it, so of course it would be kind of a lightweight effect.
Let's see. You might be able to decipher if the tattoos mean anything.
Yeah. Sure. What is this?
You like summon demon?
I don't like Dilga. I'm gonna move you back to the other screen because it's simpler.
Okay. Yeah,
It's very
and
crowded.
yeah.
Yes. I
It
realize
it looks very lived in. It looks like you've been here a while,
yeah.
which is nice, but it's also hard.
Mm-hmm. We've done a lot of adventures in Delgar, which is why it looks very lived in.
Yeah.
But I realize that Cliff has actually never been there, so
Sure.
come on. Ah. Sorry, gotta drop you guys one more time. Then we'll get to the main screen. Okay, good. We're back.
All right.
Ah! No. I like this chair. My chair broke.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Like literally, the seat just split in half.
Okay then. Well.
And it's
I had that happen with a rock. Go.
it's shifty. There we go. Wow. Adrian, let's see, Adrian, you could make a spout lore to see if you can decipher what those runes are.
Sure. Or maybe not, because rolling the dice seems to be very hard for my browser at the moment.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Obviously, I gave you the rest of us. We didn't cover that, but yeah, I didn't take those with me.
You're experiencing mental fatigue from from summoning the black hole.
Oh, geez. What in the world? I'm going to reboot my browser, but hopefully I didn't lose connection.
Oh no.
I mean, everything's still working except for Chrome.
Oh.
Well, then again, everything else is frozen too.
Weird. Weird that Discord continues even when everything else is frozen.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that way.
Yeah.
Want dice. Maybe I've got something on my phone. I can just call it. Oh, yeah, no, I just had. Alright, spout lore. 13. There we go.
Ooh, wow. Wow. All right. So the the various symbols and markings on your tattoos explain a method to speak with a demonic counselor from the realm of hell.
Okay. Alright. Interesting. I don't... Oh, they tell the story of how I did, then?
No, it's similar to kind of like divine guidance, except that it's with a demon instead of a actual divine person.
Oh, I see. If that gives me the ability to do that, I think I'll refrain from doing it because, yeah. Just opening my eye was enough.
Okay.
For now. Well. Besides, I think other divine guidances would tell me not to.
Dravos Attenborough is going to come up to the two of you, shake your hands, and say that he's going to try and get home to his own place. Thank you for having me and on your adventures, but I'm going to try and get back to the comfort of my own publishing house.
And yeah, Lady Blackadder has paid him generously for his help, I imagine.
Oh, I'm sure, yes.
Yeah, I'll shake his hand. See you.
And I'm going to give the remains of Rusty to the gnomes, and I'll let them rebuild him.
Hey.
Aww.
They'll have fun doing that.
Oh, sure.
With strict instructions to make sure that he knows that he is a good robot.
Ooh, it's a little
And,
condescending, but all right. Who's a good
and,
one?
and an iron golem is going to need magical assistance as well as mechanical assistance to rebuild. So you're gonna have to be kind of hands-on on that, Adrian.
That's okay. I plan on sticking around here for a while.
Okay.
I mean, it is my hometown, after all.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I won't be sticking. I am going to try and grow that glowing mushroom that in a controlled environment.
uh-huh.
I don't know if you've seen. I keep mentioning Nazca of the Valley of the Winds.
Yeah, I've seen it as well.
Hold on. Got it.
Well, I'm imagining more Breaking Bad level of controlled environments.
Yeah,
Something
you
like
managed to find a fairly isolated underground portion of the sewer system, Cliff, that you could use for that.
And I'll probably, if I start traveling again, I'll grow weird stuff down there. And maybe someday it breaks out and it's a huge problem.
Oh man.
How could that be a well? Okay.
Invasive species.
Oh, it went sentient, or
Yeah. Occasionally, Cliff, you have to deal with mushroom entities finding your stash and just chilling out down there.
Yeah.
Hey man. Okay. Cliff, let's see. As I don't know, when you guys come back, do you kind of, say how much you've helped out with the big Death Star issue, or do you kind of keep it quiet?
I don't talk about it much.
see, I was imagining coming home to massive accolades and parades, but that just seemed a little bit uncharacteristic of the party in general. So I'll go with yours and just say, yeah, let's keep it a little bit under wraps.
Oh. All right. So it is a mystery why this this looming threat has disappeared.
You know what? I know who gets all the credit. The ascended one.
Oh man.
Yeah, all of the various
Are we gonna be like the apostles or something?
Oh good grief. Well, I mean, Delgar's probably the best place to start proselytizing.
Mm-hmm.
Since they hate
all of the various acolytes in the in Delgar espouse that their god helped out with this issue, but then one day a lone islander in a dugout canoe paddles into shore. He has on a golden headdress of flames, and he says that Phoenix, the Ascended One, was responsible for bringing the sunlight back, and a random beam of sunlight will come down, and he will glow with glory, and people will begin to approach this acolyte of Phoenix, and the following will grow.
Specializing in poetry and
Is there like an awakened bear that it was a servant of the legendary Phoenix? People talk about.
Yes, there is. Yes.
He pokes a bear and a devil, and they turned into people that helped him.
Yep, that's part of the mythology. Yeah. Yep.
Oh man, now I want to draw all the petroglyphs that would have arisen. Okay.
I mean, you can do whatever extracurricular stuff you want, Daniel.
Yeah, I've threatened to do that from time to time, any extracurricular stuff, and the only thing I ever came up with was the stupid flail banner.
I love the flail banner.
Yeah, well, it's the only thing I ever did. All right.
This is a good game. I really enjoyed it from the beginning. I was excited.
Oh, excellent. Well, you're dealing with two people that never did tabletop before this. I mean, before we two and a couple other people just tried it.
Right. That's Dungeon World seems like an interesting one to start with. I mean, it's a good one to start with. Very simple.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to try and take up Dungeons and Dragons, but the list of like conditions and rules and stuff you have to grasp in order to actually run a game is like daunting me.
I came here fleeing from Dungeons and Dragons. Like I find at least 5th edition. Well, okay, all of them are very complicated. I find 5th edition it's pretty obtuse, unnecessary ways.
I see.
In the ways that Dungeon World is very intuitive and has rules or things like if your character dies, here's some rules for making another character. Or here's some rules for making it so your character didn't die. Like you make a deal with some otherworldly being.
Right.
You know, there's all these rules for managing player expectation, and all of those things are unspoken in Dungeons and Dragons, and oftentimes are just to be. Dungeons and Dragons doesn't have like expectation management rules. Like I don't know. I mean, a lot of people like 5e, so I'm maybe a minority voice here, and I'm glad that 5e is as accessible as it is. I don't find it accessible. It is for a lot of people.
I personally find that the combat in Dungeon World is a little sloppy, a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard to get a grip on because no initiative.
Right.
I like
and
there's no initiative, but
if you do initiative, then certain moves don't actually make sense. Like if you attack and you do a halfway successful attack,
you kind of have
and
to
the creature
improvise.
Attacks you,
Yeah.
right?
You kind of have to make your own initiative, right? Because like, don't you as the DM kind of sometimes say like, "All right, Cliff, what do you do?" Not that there's necessarily anything to suggest that I would do something, but it's just like pointing at me and making me do something.
Yeah, it's like
something has to happen.
Yeah.
Rather than initiative determining whose turn it is, it's more the DM that just says, "Okay, now it's your turn."
Pathfinder 2 seems pretty cool. It was.
Oh, I heard that was coming out.
Pretty intuitive. I haven't read the proper release book. I read the playtest though, and it seemed smart. It seemed like a good answer to 5e.
Cool.
Like a development on 5e, like a meditation on 5e.
Oh, is it?
Kind of.
Okay.
It seems almost more like 5th edition than Pathfinder.
Okay.
But it's
because I know
it's
Pathfinder 1 is supposed to be the 3.5 spin-off.
This one seems really. One of my favorite things is the action economy. Is I don't know how movement works, but you get 3 actions every turn, and so you could attack on all 3 actions, but you get a penalty for the secondary action or attack. And like some spells cost 2 actions, some spells cost 3 actions.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it just seems really elegant. You don't have to bother with like bonus actions and all that.
Right.
Bonus actions are an understandable concept. I see why they went with it, but even the creators have said like bonus action kind of stuck, right?
Yeah. I found them to be difficult to remember you even had them. It's like, wait, I had another thing I could do, right? Was it? And it's like, okay.
And the fact that you can't like use a bonus action as your proper action is extremely make any matter.
I see.
Dungeon World's good. I could see someone getting tired of it because maybe in some respects it's a little too simple, but I don't think it's too simple. It's just I could see someone wanting to move on to something more.
Yes, and that's been kind of my opinion for a while. Is I've played Dungeon World so much. I'm like, Sean, can we do a Dungeons and Dragons? Maybe an older version that people actually like. And he's like, I like the Dungeon World thing. Well, I know, but there's that little part of me that's like, oh man, I love the rules and just the extensive rules of like when to decide things. The decision trees on Dungeons and Dragons are very attractive to me.
I have been tasked, and I'm not able to do it right. But eventually, I'm going to run a Pathfinder 2 one-shot or a mini for a group. So I will be like learning the system. If somebody wants to like get on a video chat with me sometime and go over it together and just like study it.
Oh, cool.
See if it works for either of us in our own separate games. That I'm always open to that. I like discussing game systems like.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I want to learn more about Pathfinder too. All right. Is there anything else we want to do today? Do you have a plan for another game to take over this one, or are we taking like somewhat of a break for a while?
I have vague ideas, but nothing really concrete. So if you guys are okay with taking a small break, that would be okay with me.
Would
I would say at the same time, just trying to come up with concepts, maybe suggestions or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, if you have multiple ideas that you want to check in with us on.
Because I know this is the Sky Pirates is like the 3rd iteration of the same universe that Sean and I started like 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yep, it has. There is a lot of lore and a lot of stuff behind it. Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling it would be really nice to kind of like restart from almost scratch. New places, new world entirely.
Pokemon tabletop RPG.
God, no.
Like Digimon, or go like
man.
Fucking I don't know.
Oh.
We could kind of have the rest of this be just sort of like a session 0 idea.
I basically played
workshop.
a Pokemon this game, collecting monsters that I can.
That is true.
Send out.
That's true.
That is basically a druid in Dungeon World.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, one thing that we didn't get into, I didn't expect to talk to you about. So it's not like I'm disappointed it didn't come up. It was a personal thing about character. But what Sean and I talked about was my character is like God, kind of. is not a god, and he like doesn't worship in like a organized religion, but his people and his like village pay their respects to a local spirit called the old River King.
Oh, cool.
And he's like a big giant salamander. Those Japanese giant salamanders.
Oh, very cool.
It's like a big wet black dog. But he's big. He's bigger. And I guess they come out like during floods and rains. And so I figured it might be reasonable for someone to start assuming that creature is making flood and rain. In this case, they're correct. That creature is making flood and rain. This is the king. He's the king of that river.
That's cool.
Yeah. I can't begin to suggest ideas for because I don't really know what you guys would want to. I only know that you created a sky pirate.
Yeah.
That gives me some idea. I know you also want something different.
Honestly, at this point, it's anything I would be up for it, but like if I would go to this.
I mean, one of the most different things would be like a real low magic.
True.
Yeah, fantasy, but like
True.
the elves live in distant woods. There's not that many elves. That kind of magic, which I feel like, one of the best systems for that is Dungeon World, but it could also run in different.
My random campaign.
The one thing I was pondering was something like a population on like Sigil, or like a interdimensional kind of place where there's various crossroads to other places.
Right, scale up the magic.
Like a Planescapes campaign?
Yeah,
Because I would be all open to a Planescape-based campaign.
Sure. That's nothing like anything I've ever.
Man, I even have. What do I have? The original Into the Abyss.
Oh wow, that's so far outside my wheelhouse. But that's.
Man, if we went AD&D, that would be interesting.
There's also like, you could run something in I'm not pushing for low magic. I just because I have 2 low magic suggestions in a row, but I like the but like there's also modern settings like Monster of the Week.
Okay.
Where you're like, you live in, I don't know. You could live in San Francisco, and then there's big turtle monsters that start climbing out of the river.
Yeah.
You'll fight.
Okay.
And you can have guns or axes or cars, but you can also have magic.
I see. The one a friend suggested to me was Vampire the Masquerade, which would be kind of on a similar area, like a similar universe.
That's a real old one, right? Like,
yeah. The Masquerade, it's weird. I have not played it enough. I only came up with a character, and then we never actually did a thing with it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know anything about it. I've seen one playthrough of it on Critical Role, but I also think that was a bit different from the way that it's usually run. So I really don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm basically just rolling on this. Send a link.
If it was something like, so Monster of the Week might be undesirable in particular. It is called Powered by the Apocalypse, so it's the same like 2d6 system.
Okay.
I think it's a lot denser than Dungeon World. Like it has a lot more details, but it is also still that thing. You know, issue system. And it's built on the same. You want something?
Okay.
Maybe stay away from Powered by the Apocalypse.
Yeah, I'll make a note of it for sure.
There's the Fate system. I think it's Fate.
I have heard of this.
It's like maybe I'm just thinking of a game in that system. But there's like a superhero. I'm sure there's lots of superhero
Yeah.
systems, but I know that the Adventure Zone is where I've picked up a lot of game systems from things like Critical Role. I don't even remember how I learned about it. I think I just looked up to see if there were any Powered Apocalypse games would work.
Yeah, I had a friend of a friend who tried making his own campaign out of Fate, and he went completely nuts with it. And like, we never actually heard how his game was going. We just heard how his development of the Fate system that he was using was going. Like,
Wow, it's like a parable. What is this? What is this table you said? I'm trying to load it up.
oh, it's a site. Yeah.
I know the website.
Yeah, it's just a random generator. It's
For like train settings?
for anything really. This girl that runs it has basically plugged in a ton of different things.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh, what was the one called? Hang on, I'll be right back.
I did also empty all my bonds last session.
Yeah, we could play Mouse Guard.
Mouse Guard? What's that?
You are a mouse. Live. You are the guard mouse of
Is that a red
Port
wall?
Sumac. Yeah, it's basically a Redwall version of D&D or something. Except it's its own system.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I loved Redwall when I read those books. So when I spotted
We
this,
could
I'm
also,
like, absolutely.
here's another thing. If we're not ready to start a campaign, we can also do like one-shots or mini.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Like one-shots, two-shots, three-shots, that kind of.
We definitely can.
I've been trying to get better at one-shot because it seems like a really great skill to have. 'Cause it is hard in its own way. Different kind.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of running.
Because you can't really have a huge storyline to keep going on. You have to do your thing and wrap it up.
You really need to, you really need to get your pacing down.
I see.
Or maybe, I don't know. It's harder to pace.
Mm-hmm.
At least mine always seemed to go kind of. Except for recently, I had one that was quite short, and that was actually really satisfying.
Okay. Okay.
that was an accident.
Gotcha.
But it seems like a great just to be able to bring something to a group that they can play with for a little bit.
Oh,
There's
absolutely,
no
yes.
drinks.
I know Phoenix himself made an entire Discord for monthly one-shots.
That's great.
And he calls it monthly one-shot Phoenix or MOP. And I'm looking at his current list. Chronicles World of Darkness. Another one, Blades in the Dark. And yeah, it looks like those are the only two that he's offering at the moment for like sanctioned one-shots.
Yeah.
But
that sounds like a really great thing.
right.
My only experience with Dungeon World for this game was I would run Dungeon World one shots. I've run 3 so far.
Oh,
and
cool.
I've only done them in person.
Yeah.
And the way that I do them only works in person. I could change it to work on it, but I print out all the sheets and I have like 4 or 5 different options. Depending on how many people there are, I have class options. I always have at least one more than there are people. Usually I try to stick with the wizard, thief, fighter, cleric.
Yeah.
Then I expand to ranger and expand to druid, and last, if necessary, I expand to immolator.
Okay.
But what I do is I don't offer them the classes. I hold out my hand, and there are a bunch of die in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's like a big red 10, and there's a green D6, and a gold D6, and a blue D4.
Okay.
Like a crystal clear D8, and I just hold it out and like take one of these, and people pick out a die, and the color and type of die corresponds to the damage die of a certain class.
Okay, cool.
And so I make them feel like they're picking a class kind of random, but also like I try to make the colors match sort of.
Yep.
So if they see the shiny diamond looking D8 and they just want to grab that one, then maybe they should play the thief.
Pick your favorite color. Yeah.
They pick the big imposing red D10. Maybe they do want to play the fighter.
Yeah. Or the immolator, and then they know that, and they get the idea that, oh, these are my class choices.
Yeah. I do have an unusually large white D10, so if I use a barbarian, I want to.
Okay.
It's a weird outlier. It's the only non-D6 die I've ever seen that has dots instead of numbers.
Huh. No, oversized is fine, and white is fine, because you're going for, like, what is it?
Bones!
Going for Mr. Scandinavian white guy.
yeah. I was thinking bones, but that works.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I said while you were gone, Sean, I'm so sorry. I am saying your name right? Sean?
What's that?
Your name is Sean, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Just making sure, because yours is the only name that I don't see in writing, and so like I have a way to easily remember.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
The great and powerful. But one thing I said while you were gone was that if we're not ready to do a campaign, we could also do like a one shot or something to see a system or try to learn it. If you had an idea that you weren't sure you were ready to flesh out and do a campaign, you wanted to form a one shot. If you enjoy one shots, making, because they are different.
Well,
It's actually interesting. This whole campaign started with a one shot.
It's always fun when that happens.
which means that neither Sean nor I have ever done a one shot.
No, I haven't. No.
I actually made an entire 5e one shot campaign, and it lasted about 3 sessions. But it was designed to be a little bit shorter, but it didn't come off very well, just because I wrote it myself, never having actually played D&D at all, and then play tested it on Sean and a couple other guys.
That's how it's going to go. Can't be true. One of my Dungeon World one shot had a session 2, and I think I'm going to see if I can do a session 3. It's with like old friends that don't really live around here anymore, but so I think I'll try for a session 3. They stole a gun. It's like, you know, a D&D setting, but they stole a big arquebus gun. It's really hard to use, but it does too much damage.
Okay.
They don't really know how to use it, so that's.
It's interesting.
Oh man, I still have this. Hang on, I'm gonna.
You sure are scrolling over there.
Yeah, I'm done. Let me. Where in the world? Google. Yeah. Wonder if Discord allows for PDF drag and drop.
No, I don't think so. Well, you can actually. You might be. No.
Well,
I was thinking you might be able to do it in a handout, but I don't think so.
no. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do though. I'm gonna do it the long way, because I did find that old little 5e campaign. I wanted to throw up a link to it.
Give me this.
Oh, good grief. It's that thing. Drive.
I'm surprised, Gemini Man, and like the high frame rate and everything. The high frame rate, 3D, all the well, not all the works because you can't see it in America with all the works, but like it's still showing in theaters. I thought it would. I thought it wouldn't be showing with all that.
Oh wow.
I'm impressed that they've kept it showing like that for so long. It's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely recommend that. I saw 60 frames per second and 120.
Okay.
Crazy in both. It's like nothing really. It's not like a great movie, but format and the way that Ang Lee uses the format.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure people can use that format and it's bad, but when he uses it's again nothing I've ever seen. It's truly like seeing 3D for the first time.
Oh wow.
I only thought of it because I was sending the Ghibli Fest thing. I was like, oh, this is a different, interesting film event that's going on.
Oh yeah.
That website's really good for seeing if it shows in a high frame rate around you, because I know a lot of people, it just isn't showing around them. I luckily have one nearby.
Mm-hmm.
It's going, each time or somebody pushes, mostly Ang Lee, but sometimes like I think Peter Jackson tried to show something in a high frame rate. It didn't go as well, and what's his James Cameron is hoping to release Avatar 2 in high frame. It's exciting that just more people are using it. 'Cause that's
Avatar 2, the sequel to the Blue Alien movie. Wow.
Yeah. But Ang Lee is really like he's like Sisyphus, pushing this rock up a hill, trying to get people to use high frame. My friend was at a screening, and Ang Lee was talking about, and I think someone asked, like, why do you think that, why are you making movies in high frame rate? What do you think about this? What about this format suits you? And he said, it's not for me. I'm too old for this. It's for you. It's for the next generation of filmmakers that are still locked in my old format of 24 frames per second. You're still being led along by the leash of film. But your format is digital, just trying to work out all the kinks and the flaws.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah.
Crazy.
Ooh, 1 in 30 miles from me. Cool. Yeah. Interesting. All right.
The script definitely feels like it was written in the 80s, because it was. The movie has a lot of troubles, but seeing them in the high frame rate, it's hard to pay attention to those.
Gotcha.
I almost regret seeing it twice, because I was less distracted by the crazy format and was a little bit annoyed by the script.
And now you get to actually watch the movie and realize what's wrong with it. Got it.
Yeah, I am actually curious to watch it in a regular format. I wonder, I bet the acting's going to be better. That's a weird thing about the high frame rate, is that it makes the acting weird. Seeing people move at the speed and the density of frames that you're actually used to seeing with your own eyes, it removes the window to like the film world that we're used to having, where we can believe that people are acting differently than they do in real life.
Yes.
But if you saw an actor acting like they do in a movie in front of you, you'd be like, why are you behaving this way? What are you doing?
It's like you're trying to it's hitting the uncanny valley.
But
this time via frame rate rather than realism of CGI or something.
It's really hard to make a movie that way.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think he does an incredible job with Jimmy. It's like he's overcome so many of the issues so quickly. I didn't see Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. That was his first attempt at doing this, and that one apparently the acting is just bizarre.
Interesting.
We could also next week or the week after next, if we're not running a game, we can also meet up and discuss what we did for.
Yeah.
Sure, I'd be
That's
totally.
really a really good idea. Yeah.
That's what I've been doing in another game that has yet to get started for the first time.
Yeah. Yep. Just a short brainstorming session of sorts. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely plan on that myself.
Yeah. Yep. Me too.
Finally, after a couple years, pull down all the books that I've purchased on eBay and be like, okay, we could do this. I've got physical materials for all of these games, or...
Daniel, would you want to run a campaign?
Every time I do, I get lost.
Okay.
But I would...
I don't I do. Not that I'd be able to say we're doing that, but I don't want to. I don't want to run anything.
Well, by the sound of it, it looks like you're already running plenty.
Yes.
So
Too much. I'm about to finish up a campaign, so that clears me up a little bit, but that's not, yeah, I don't want.
once that's cleared up, you probably want us just kind of like back off a little bit, imagine.
I want to have room for one-shots. I want to get better at those.
Yeah. Well, I put the link to mine up if you want to read through it. I mean, reading through it would kind of spoil it, I think.
Okay.
But it's not very deep, honestly. It's more like you are at the top of a canyon, you go into the canyon, you fight all the things. So
what's the link to the My Campaign, the dungeon.bin.sh?
Oh, that's a random campaign generator.
Whoa.
It's not very complicated, but there are a lot of options as well.
It looks like it's based on the Matthew Colville campaign sheet. Matt Colville has like a campaign sheet that looks an awful lot like
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was just the campaign generator. There's a bunch of other generators in this site for like quests and lower level stuff. There's also a world generator, like what is your planet? What is it called? How many continents does it have? How big is the ocean? What's the biome? That kind of thing. And I found that to be fascinating as well. But
it actually says on the page that it's based on PDF by Matt Colville.
Oh, you are correct.
I'm gonna bookmark this then. That's pretty cool.
Well, bookmark the entire site because the entire site's got a ton more
Site
than
is,
just
the
this.
site is very useful. I've used it before for spells.
Yeah.
I don't really use their generators very often. I use their like database.
Okay. Yeah, I tried using the generators, and then I found it repeats a little too often. And so then I would just like, okay, I need a name for somebody really fast. And I'd hit refresh a bunch of times. Oh, I like the first half of that name, and I like the second half of this name. I'll just stick those together.
Yeah. I have such a trouble with. I think I come up with good ones eventually, but it's just it makes me tired to come up with names.
Right.
I don't like randomly generated names for whatever reason. They never catch me.
Yeah. Human male names: Jeffrey, Conway, Gary, Conway again.
Who's that one gnome that we had that kept dying, and then we'd always get another one?
That was
named Jeff.
Jeff. It was Jeff. So we had Jeff the 4th and Jeff the 5th.
After like a full week of leaving and coming back and leaving and coming back, I finally settled on a name for a character I made recently. What was Ellis? Like after all that work.
Right.
It's Ellis. I like the name. I settled on it because it's still like, it's like if a meeting for like I don't know, if Facebook had like a premium streaming service. I guess they do now, but like if they went into a meeting to come up with what their streaming service would be called, and they were in there for 20 days, and they had to like airlift their food in, and they were just locked in there for a weekend, and they came out and said, "It's Facebook Plus."
Right. Have you heard the Mitch Hedberg about the Two Trees Hotel?
Yeah.
Where they're like, well, we've got this hotel. We don't know what to call it, but we built it between two trees. I have an idea. Let's call it the Two Trees Hotel.
I mean, hey. You know where to find it.
Blasphemous rituals. The eldritch malediction of Emercall the Chaotic. That sounds like a cool ritual.
Is this a name generator?
Yeah, blasphemous ritual name generator.
Oh.
The infernal obscenity.
Professor Dumbledore, do you know any really old ancient curses? You must never repeat this ever. We promise, Professor.
Oh, I thought Pathfinder 2 had released by now, but I guess it didn't.
Oh, did it?
I'm trying to find it. It's as hard to find as it was for me before. I think it would be easy. Core rulebook. What? Finding general discussion. Second edition launches now. It's on Paizo. It's on the website.
Yeah, I see that.
The link, second edition. All right. Yes. Here it is. You can buy the hardcover. They usually have their stuff. Download it.
That's expensive.
Can you just download it?
Oh, wait,
usually,
look.
That's historically.
They are all pre-order April 2020.
I see.
February and April.
Okay. So historically, you can just historically, has Pathfinder just kind of made their stuff publicly available?
That's what I heard.
Not that they have to stick with that necessarily,
Right.
but just
Right. Like there's this Pathfinder module, We Be Heroes, print edition, $5, PDF is free, which is interesting.
I know that the playtest material is free, freely. Although they did also sell a hardcover of the playtest material, which seems shady.
Right.
But
Pathfinder rulebook ongoing subscription, $60 to start, and then I'm not sure. Like is it a? I mean, they say a subscription, but how often? They don't really tell you.
today is the day. August 1st, officially here on store shelves at online retailers. It's been more than 3 years since we started work. Core rules. Everything starts with the Pathfinder core rule book. Enters
Weird. Second edition rulebooks.
L. I was wondering if there is a PDF version of the core rulebook. They just made. Somebody asked on. You can buy a PDF on Paizo's website. There's also free on the database. Okay, there's a free online rules database at 2e.aonprt.com. Holy shit! God. Get like a bit.ly in here? Make this.
Have they routed you through an AdFly page yet? It's like
I sent
Minecraft
a link.
mod.
I don't know what it is exactly, but I sent a link.
Okay. It's like Minecraft mods. You have to
It
find them
looks-
in the forum and then...
It looks like an old YouTube profile. This looks wild.
Oh wow.
There's a theme toggle button in this top right.
Ugh, why?
What is this? This is the database, apparently.
Lost Omens character guide. That makes no sense to me. And it looks like it's all unrolled in.
Okay, well, on the left though, I see the scroll. That makes sense. It's like, I remember ancestries. Those are the races, backgrounds, archetype. That all seem archetype. What's archetype? There are infinite possible character concepts that you might find. The feats and skill choices from a single class aren't sufficient to fully realize your character. Archetypes allow you to expand the scope of your character's class. Multi-class archetypes. If you have a class, this is, I guess, maybe how they run multi-class. If you have a current class, you can take multi-class archetype of alchemist, barbarian, bard, champion, cleric, druid, fighter, monk, ranger, rogue, sorcerer, wizard, something like that.
I'm gonna run, guys.
All right.
I gotta pick somebody up from work at 5, so I gotta.
Yeah, we can get off. I'll get off. I'll talk to you guys probably the week after next, or week, or whenever we have a meeting.
Sounds good to me.
See ya.
Sounds good. All right. Take care.